At Bad Blood, we're getting something that we never thought we would ever see, and that's Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming up to take on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Now, that in itself is a crazy match to think about, considering that we spent the last two WrestleManias focusing on Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. But I think that this storyline is just kind of getting started, and I think I may know where it's heading. Now, before we get to that, I do need to ask, should Cody Rhodes move on from the Bloodline storyline? Because we saw him on this past episode of Friday Night SmackDown. We saw him tell Nick Aldis that he was done with the Bloodline. He wanted nothing to do with them. He was done. Only for him to come and help Roman Reigns just a couple minutes later. And that promo exchange between Roman and Cody was really interesting because Cody kind of sounded like the bad guy in the scenario. Now, I'm not saying that Cody Rhodes is going to turn heel and he's going to be the bad guy in this. I don't think Cody Rhodes is probably ever going to turn heel. But with Roman Reigns being back in the mix and Roman Reigns being as popular and as over as he is, once CM Punk returned to the WWE, truly anything is possible in the world of pro wrestling. So I guess never say never on a Cody heel turn, but I don't think it's very likely. I do think, however, that once this match is done and they kind of go their separate ways, I think we kind of see a little bit of a split. I think Roman and Solo keep having their feud, and eventually I do think we get the Bloodline 2.0 versus the OG Bloodline. And where does that leave Cody Rhodes? I think that we are going to get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. Whether that be at WrestleMania 41 or whether it be at the Royal Rumble, at some point I think we're going to get The Rock versus Cody. Now, I do think that the big end game in this story is Rock versus Roman. I think that is the marquee match. That is the one that fans have been waiting for so long, and I think that is going to be the finale of the Bloodline storyline. But some may argue that the penultimate episode of a show ends up being the most exciting one. And I think that the penultimate episode of the Bloodline storyline would be The Rock versus Roman. The last time we saw The Rock, he gave Cody that envelope of what was inside, and maybe that was them kind of planting the seeds a little bit for this big match between The Rock and Cody. Because while some may argue that Cody Rhodes is the face of the WWE right now, Roman Reigns is right there still. And I think having a one-on-one match between The Rock and Cody really would set up Cody Rhodes to be a Roman Reigns level babyface. So let's not forget, Cody Rhodes was the top babyface in the company before Roman Reigns came back. Once Roman came back, he became the biggest babyface in the company. And I really do think that a match between The Rock would really go further for Cody Rhodes. And again, I think we do end up at some point getting The Rock and Roman, because again, that is the finale of the Bloodline storyline, in my opinion. It's just a matter of how we get there. And again, I think at some point we get the Bloodline 2.0 versus the OG Bloodline. So while I think that this chapter of the Bloodline storyline is kind of a weird spot because Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teaming up, I think the next chapter would be Bloodline 2.0 versus OG Bloodline. Then the next chapter would be Roman Reigns. Then the next chapter would be The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, and the finale again being Rock and Roman. But as I'm sure you're all aware of, that sometimes pro wrestling just doesn't make much sense, and you're just along for the ride. And I think at this point with the Bloodline storyline, we're all just kind of here for the ride. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I'm curious to see what you guys think of Roman and Cody teaming up, and I'm curious to see what you think about possibly it being Cody Rhodes versus The Rock, and eventually The Rock versus Roman. Let me know all that down below in the comments. And while you're down there, stop at the description and check out our Linktree link. There you will find all of our social media pages. I highly suggest going and checking out our X page. Over on X, we do updates on every Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and all of the PLEs. And overall, I want that to be a place for wrestling fans to go and talk about wrestling, especially those who are like me and they don't have a lot of people to talk to about wrestling. So if that applies to you, swing by a Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, join in on the conversation, and maybe it's for you at the end of the day. That is going to do it for this video here. I do apologize if it's a bit of a shorter one. It is super late at night, and I am really tired from recording videos for the past several hours, so I do apologize if this is a shorter video. But if you have made it to this point, don't forget to leave a like, and if you really enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button. It'll really help out the channel. As always, stay tuned for more content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.